Comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money. Money, money, money.
Dollar, dollar. Dollar, dollar. Ching, ching, bling, bling, cut the chatter. You ain't talking money, then your talking don't matter. Ching, ching, bling, bling, patent pockets. You take the dollar, dollar, can a damn soul.
What's up, guys? Make sure to like and subscribe. This is KY Constrictors and Exotics.
Here comes the money.
YouTube, Rob from KY Constrictors and Exotics. Repping my boy Spencer over at Smith's Exotics. Go check him out. If anything, buy a shirt from him because they're awesome. Anyway, today I got an awesome video for you. I'm going to be doing the Chubby Bunny Challenge. Be saying what you all said the other day at TGH's live event, the barbecue get-together in California. Sorry I couldn't make it, guys. I had to work, plus couldn't get a plane ticket. Anyway, we need to do something like that on the East Coast. I'm sure Mad Bio or somebody could drive up from Florida to Kentucky or Indiana. A lot of people in Indiana, by the way, in the community. But anyway, I'm just joshing y'all. Don't really mean to not talk bad about it. I'm just saying it's great to see everybody get together like that. I wish more people were more local to me. That way I could get together with them. Got some plans coming up here in the future. Got to make them plans, but it's definitely going to happen. Going to meet Will from Kentucky and Exotics. Go check out his collection and vice versa. Don't know exactly what we're going to do, but we're definitely going to do something. Anyway, Chubby Bunny Challenge. I'm going to go ahead and do that. Anyway, like I said, I'm going to be doing a Chubby Bunny Challenge. Only I'm going to say building a community just like the guys in California did. And speaking of the guys in California, I think Aquaballs shattered the record. I think he got 10 marshmallows, was it? Well, guess what? I'm gonna double it. I'm gonna go 20. I'm calling it 20 marshmallows. And you know what? I'm gonna do them all at once. And here they are. That's right. I literally have 20 marshmallows there. So, let me get my pod set up here. Did not mean to do that. Anyway, get my pod set up. Got my 20 marshmallows. Building a community. That's just a joke, guys. There's no way that I could beat 10 marshmallows, so why even try? Just thought I'd throw that out there in case anybody wanted to say that I had the record at 20 marshmallows, because y'all never did say what kind of marshmallows. Luckie Charms, I guess it could count. I don't know. Anyway, I'm just playing. Anyway, another reason for my video today is part 2 of the how I breed rats. And I'm going to go more into detail with that. Part 1, I highlighted, I talked about the ratio that I was using and how I was going to do 1 to 4, and I actually decided against that. So I'm going to go 1 to 3, just because I don't want my bins to get way overcrowded. You can imagine 40 baby rats. It's average 10 per mother. 40 baby rats running around in the same bin, and having 6 of those. Also talked about how I leave the male in with the mothers all the time, like I don't remove him at all. I'm still doing that. and I'm still having good luck. So far, so good. So I don't have to worry about messing with that. I don't have to worry about, did I put the wrong male in with the wrong batch of females? None of that. So, and another thing I talked about was what I feed them, and that is the 6F Missouri rodent breeder. I highly recommend it. I know a lot of people use lab diet. I've seen people go to Walmart and buy their rat food. I promise you, you will have twice the production by using Missouri rodent breeder. Highly recommend it. So, breeding rats. Let's go ahead and I'll get to that right now. As you can see, guys, this is my rat rack. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 with my water up top. Sorry about the light. The sunlight is killing me. Anyway, you see my new water system that I installed. I ordered that from Reptile Basics. I think is about the cheapest place you can get it. I did have a litter of babies. Here's my oldest litter of babies. Right here. Well, not really my oldest, but my babies, I guess you could say. And here are my youngest little babies in the back. They were born yesterday, so anyway, as you can see, I have 1 male with 3 females. I'm gonna go ahead and start by saying, what is a male rat called? A male rat's called a buck for one. Females are called does, and babies are called kittens. Some people call them rat pups. You know, I think that's the general saying throughout the community. Or people will say they feed rat pups, but they're actually called kittens. So it's just a little fun note for you. If you didn't want to leave the males with females, what you could do with this type of setup, you could have 3 breeding racks and put 4 females in each one. You could have your males right here, and then the other 2 racks would be what you divide up your males and female babies with, because you don't want those breeding, right? Because then you would have a big mess. It's dangerous for them to breed that young. And if you do end up removing the males, you do not want to leave them in there longer than 10 days. That being said, if you do, the male will end up smelling like the females, and it can cause the other males to attack that male because of that. So to keep fighting down, just don't leave them in there longer than 10 days. To be honest with you, 3 days would do the trick. But if you had just missed them being in heat, 10 days is recommended. That way a doe goes in heat every 4 to 5 days. So if you was just to miss that, it'd be another 4 or 5 days later. So 10 days you would definitely, if not twice, have a doe go into heat twice on you. Definitely once, so for sure. A couple ways you can tell that doe's in heat is back arching to expose their lady parts, and ear vibrating. Those are 2 key signs that a doe's in heat. So when you start seeing these signs, that's when you can put your male in, because they're in heat for sure. When you're breeding rats, it's best and highly recommended not to breed rats that are related. Like, you wouldn't want to have a male and a female from the same litter and try to breed them, or you wouldn't want to breed a son to a mother, because if there are any deformalities from genetics, they would be passed on, and highly passed on. Let's talk breeding age. So breeding age for rats, they differ with males and females. With a male, you want to breed them. You don't want to breed anything. Starting age is recommended 6 to 12 months, and anything over 18 months, a male can actually be sterile, or worse, even worse, they can cause deformalities. That's another thing that breeding siblings can do, is they cause deformalities. I know a lot of people do it and have no problems with it. I've actually done it, had no problems with it. I'm just telling you what's recommended. Another thing is females, their recommended breeding age is 5 to 7 months. Why they're younger, I don't know. I guess their bodies mature faster and they can handle it. But they'll only breed to about 15 to 18 months as well. And the older they get, the smaller the litters usually get. So if you got a female that bred at 7 months and had 15 babies, chances are when she's 18 months, she's probably only going to have 8 to 10, somewhere in there. The actual average size of the litter for females are anywhere from 10 to 12. So, let's see here, we'll check in on these right here. These are actually my biggest babies, right there in the back. They're actually what I consider a medium rat. They're for my bigger snakes. I let them grow up because I needed some mediums. But anyway, let's see here. Where was I at? I was saying that the average size of babies are 10 to 12. That really depends on the female and the size of the female and the sexual maturity of the female. If she's been regularly bred, then probably gonna have small litters. If it's been a while, the larger the litter. I guess she produces more eggs the longer it's been. Highly recommend giving them a month break if you are going to do it this way. If you leave the males in, you kind of have no choice but to let them do their thing. But anyway, they can have up to 25 babies. And I've not seen that yet, but I have seen one take care of that many. You know, they will help take care of each other's babies. If you're going to start breeding, here's a couple things you need to consider. First, you need to consider what your breeding goals are. What are you breeding for? Are you breeding to feed? Are you breeding to sell? How many do you need? That's a big question. So if you need 7 rats a week, you're not going to want to breed 6, 7 rats, because you're going to end up with a bunch of rats you don't need. And most pet stores aren't going to buy rats from breeders. They're going to breed their own, or they're going to breed from a rodent supplier, or they're going to buy from a rodent supplier. Every now and then you may luck up and a pet store buy them off of you, but that I recommend talking to them beforehand and make sure that they will take them from you. If you're going to start selling them, not only to pet stores but to people, I just don't recommend selling to minors. But if you do, anybody under the age of 16, you should definitely get the parent's signature in writing saying that it's okay to sell to that minor. Just because, you know, you don't want a bunch of noise. You know, you sold my kid this and I didn't want them to have it. You know, just avoid conflict at all costs. Anyway, back to the rats. So, when breeding them, the gestation period for a female, meaning how long she's pregnant for, from the time she's bred and from the time she mated until the time she has her babies, is usually around 21 days. And once they're weaned and ready to sell, you want to have them around 5 to 6 weeks. Also, you got to offer them food. Definitely have an abundance of food. They have to know that there's a lot of food or they won't breed. If you're not feeding them well, and you're just feeding them the basics, they're not going to breed for you. Because if there's a food shortage, they're not going to have more babies, so their colony that they already have can survive. But on top of the breeding pellets, you can offer them snacks such as fruit, eggs, cereal, and insects. Matter of fact, insects are very nutritious for them, and mine, they love the dubia roaches, and they really love superworms. So if you got a mother that needs some extra protein because she just had a litter, give her a couple worms or a couple roaches. They will appreciate it, trust me. If you're breeding for snakes, you really don't need to have toys for enrichment, because it kind of defeats the purpose. Why? I mean, don't get me wrong, you need to take care of these feeders and treat them as animals until you either cull them or you feed them off. But up until then, treat them as a pet. One thing I like to offer, and the main reason I like to offer it, is a chewing block. The main reason is it keeps your teeth filed down some, and you got less chance of them trying to chew at the corners and at the rack itself. Guys, I hope that's about it. I hope this video helps y'all out. Also, this is just a guideline. It's just a guideline of what I do. And that being said, you can tweak this any way you want, any way that you see fit. You're the one breeding them. You're the one that has to make the call, and you have to be ready to make that call. So if you get a deformed rat, you better be ready for that. Same with snakes. So if you're not willing to deal with the bad, don't try to do the good. That's my recommendation to you. But again, this is just a guideline. I hope it helps you. If you like this video, make sure that you click the thumbs up. If you want to see more of these videos, make sure you share. Get it out on social media. Share to Instagram. I'm on Instagram at KY Constrictors and Exotics. I'm also on Facebook. Share to Facebook. Rob Sowers. That's how you'll find me on Facebook. And of course, I'm here on YouTube. KY Constrictors and Exotics. Also, leave a comment. Tell me what you thought about the video. Tell me what you want to see me do in this video. And also tell me if you would want to breed. And I'll be honest with you, breeding my own feeders has saved me a ton of money. Don't get me wrong, it costs money to breed, and it costs a lot of money to get started. But once you see the feeders start to be produced, you will see the cost of feeding go down tremendously. That's why I do it. I mean, who doesn't like to save $1? Because I do. Anyway, make sure that you keep today positive, and make it about being positive, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Help one another, because without one another, we don't have a community. And ain't that what we're trying to do? Build a community. KY Constrictors is out.